Hello, YouTube, friends and subscribers, etc., etc. It's Big Brother time, and this is for episode 6 for Big Brother. This was the one where the three had to compete for immunity. Well, this was an exciting, fun-filled episode of, I can't say it's backstabbing, it is just simply rudeness and meanness. So the personalities are starting to show up as rude and mean at this point. And so the three that are on there, Keanu, Kelly, and Adrian, they had to compete, and that was a good competition they did. And at the beginning, Keanu took himself off because of the mystery powers he had. Well, no, he didn't take himself off. He used a mystery power to bring in someone else to help him win. And that was really interesting. I didn't know how they were going to do that, but they're really on their game this year on Big Brother. I'm liking the way they're doing these games. And so he had to get a mystery competitor. And in between this, Jimmy is screaming at Keanu. And Jimmy has an attitude. Wow. It's really... It's, you know, I'm just not a big fan of Jimmy, because I think Jimmy would backstab anybody that he's close to. But, you know, he was the head of the household. And so Jimmy was screaming about something. I wrote that down. This is my notes on it. And when Keanu said he was going to bring in a mystery player, he was mean, and he told everybody he was going to pick them off one by one. Things you're not supposed to do on Big Brother is bring that kind of attention to yourself. He did. He brought it to himself, and Jimmy wasn't that much better, because Jimmy's just, he just says stuff. And everything he was doing in this episode was, well, as we go along, I'll tell you, it was one backfire after another. He didn't want Keanu to play. I mean, he wanted Keanu to play and lose, but he didn't want him to have any help. But when they went to play, when Keanu threatened everybody, it was so funny. Ashley come up and says something about, she was acting like the Wicked Witch of the West, like, you're going to do what? And I can't, you have to see it to see how she did it, but it was fun. She's like, because he really, they're like, now we gonna get you, because you done said this. When you threaten the whole house one by one, that I'm gonna knock all of you out. I've never seen a Big Brother contestant say that. So that's the good thing about these new people. They may know about Big Brother, but they didn't really watch it that good. So we won't have to worry about it for Keanu too long, because even if he's got mystery powers, which is a theme of this year's Big Brother, his attitude is going to make him a target, as well as Jimmy. So those two are going to have a target on their backs. So when he said he was going to take out one by one, you bet your bottom dollar Rachel was happy. Rachel was like, oh, so you going to threaten the whole house. And, you know, Rachel could maneuver around in there, and and Keanu tried to make up with Jimmy a little bit and told Jimmy he should be putting up Rachel if he drops out of the competition because of his mystery player. And Jimmy was considering it. And so they decided, they went on and he didn't say anything, but they went on and started the playing. And then in the playing, the mystery person was the winner of Big Brother season 20, Casey. Casey was good. I remember her. She was so good. And she's a hardcore player. And she was like the #1 winner of playing in her Big Brother season. And so Keanu lucked out getting her. And they had a competition, and then they brought on our girl Frances from a previous Big Brother too. Frances is the bald-headed black lady who was in another year, I think 2 years ago. I'm not really sure which year she was on, but she was always so funny, and she was funny on this, and so they had to learn. They had to be on, be ready to run to hit this button, and they had them dressed up in flowers and plants and had their feet bind, so they basically had to jump to a button once they got the signal from Frances. Well, Frances put on a show. I said, you have to give Frances, she put on a super good show. She was saying all these different words that sound like creeper, and so she would say crawfish, crazy, whatever you can think of with a CR in it, and she gave stories with them, and when she got to the word creeper, they're supposed to run. Okay, she did that, and oh yeah, Kelly took herself off of the block too. So she used her power to play in a competition after that. So let me just back up on that. But anyway, so when they played, I think I'm missing something here, but when they played, Keanu lost on his competition. Jimmy lost on his competition. And they both had to sit there together, not feeling comfortable with each other. Oh boy, Adrian, he barely lost. And the winner was the one that Keanu picked for the mystery player, Casey. It was so good to see her. And she came through, and she showed why she won all these competitions. She's a beast. They need to bring her back for another year for Big Brother All Stars, because old girl came in there and stepped up. She's like a temporary guest star of Rachel. You know, like Rachel. Only Rachel was playing. They need to bring Casey back. And it was so good to see her. And Casey won that for Keanu. And so when she won that for Keanu, he's off the block. And he had to pick. Oh, Kelly did compete. And then when she lost, and let's see, did she compete? Somewhere along the way, Kelly took herself off, but so that she could do the competition later. So Amy, and then Amy mentioned something about astrology and looking for the oracle in cards and stuff. I was sitting there thinking, well, this just came out of the blue. So she's an astrological girl, and she was talking about the stars aligning and all this for a moment, And that's all they said. They just had her say something like that, and then it just went on. I said, okay, so she's into that. And so my opinion is that Jimmy is a loose cannon, because just like Keanu, he doesn't know how to play nice. And so, well, there's a couple of them. Rachel doesn't know how to play nice either, but she's easily maneuvered if you're nice to her. So then, Kelly plays for the competition that they put her in for her immunity that she had, and Kelly she won her competition putting this puzzle together, and Kelly was fast. I mean, she's getting to be a little bit of a comp beast on these kind of things. She's in the class of Ashley, Amy, and now Kelly. And but I think Kelly proved that on another competition previously. So it's now Amy, Adrian, and then they put my boy Will up. You know, Will ain't bothering nobody. I don't know, but Jimmy has had to put up so many people. He's burning a bridge because he's gonna be up on the block, because he had the misfortune of having to nominate so many people in one group like this. I mean, I haven't seen one have to just keep nominating people because they have these mystery powers taking themselves down. So he take one down, he has to put somebody else up. They win, and then he has to put somebody else up. And in the meantime, he's fussing at Keanu. Keanu's fussing at everybody. And so I don't know, the fate of the fate of Keanu and Jimmy is just up in the air in the long term. But at the end, Amy, Adrian, and Will are on there. And they're going to have some type of contest for those three on the next day's competition. Now, which one do I want to win? Well, I'm on Will's side, but I like Adrian's okay. Adrian's kind of like, he's like, if there was a bland person on the team, I mean, Adrian's kind of bland. And Amy is upset because she's already been up there before, and she didn't want to be up there because that was one of the ones Jimmy had to put her up there to also for the losses he had because of the mystery. So instead of it being Keanu, Kelly, and Adrian, it's now Amy, Adrian, and Will. And so, if anything, I guess between all of them, I would want Adrian to be voted off, but I know Will, being an older guy, they're probably going to try to take him out. And Amy's already been up there, unless they do something crazy like Jimmy and Keanu and insult people before the vote or before the win. Then maybe they might have a chance of being voted off. But Will, he couldn't hide in the bushes on this one. He was like an open target. I mean, Jimmy did talk about nominating Rachel, but Rachel is too much. It's too early to try to get her out, because first off, Rachel's one of them people, like, you put her up there, she's liable to win a competition. And plus she's always been lucky at that kind of thing. Now, that's not to say she can't be voted out, because yes, she can. But I think Amy with her cards will say the cards are in Rachel's favor. So that's what we're going to have to look for on the new episode. So this video I'm doing is going to come out on the day of, going to come out after the 2nd on Thursday. So this will be old, but this is just for the people that haven't watched it yet. If they want to lead up to it, I'll make a video about the eviction. It comes out on Thursday, so probably see that on Friday. So, well, no, you may see it on Saturday. Well, anyway, it'll be in chronological order. So before you watch it, if you just want to see, you know, but it's good to watch these videos because you get to hear other people's opinion about what's happening on Big Brother. I haven't seen too many videos about people talking about it, but it might be that my algorithm hasn't picked it up for me for Big Brother conversation. Well, this was another good time with you, and we'll see what happens on Big Brother. And if it's as good as this last episode was, it should be really good. Should be even more good. I'll make a prediction and say, I'm sorry to see my boy Will go. Unless he wins the competition, but he's a big man. I don't know if he can really do a competition well. So he hasn't done enough of them for me to know if he can compete. So, you know, so it's Amy, Adrian, and Will. And I predict that if it's not Will, it's going to be Adrian. Because like I said, Adrian's kind of bland. They wouldn't feel guilty about knocking him out, you know. He's upset because he knows he could get knocked out, but anyway, it's a good show. This was my take on Big Brother this week. We gotta wait for that eviction for tomorrow. Take care, you two.